I was abducted in 1994 when I was in 5th grade and on my way to school. I was taken to the bush in Sudan to be in Coyne's brigade. We had very big problems walking to the Sudan from Uganda. We were forced to walk for 3 days. Anyone who remained behind was killed because they could not walk at the speed that they wanted. If you were moving too slowly, they would kill your whole family on account of you. While I was there, I had lots of problems. We would go on raids for food from civilians. There are often crossfires and killing of innocent people. We were forced to kill and we had to do it, or we would be killed. Also, we were forced into sexual activities. The rebels would drop the clothing of all the men into a pile and make you pick one. When you pick, you will belong to that man whose clothing you have taken. I picked the clothing of a very old man. I refused that man because he was really very old, and I was beaten 100 strokes for refusing him. I was in a military barracks where we were ill-treated. There I was later given to another person who was 19. I was 12. When we returned to Uganda, we were caught in a serious crossfire. The man I was forced to marry was killed. He left me 3 weeks pregnant. I was facing lots of problems now because the rebels were watching me more closely to see if I would try to escape. I stayed and was only praying to be all right until I delivered. I delivered while walking, and helicopter gunships were throwing bombs on us. So I prayed that God would help with this child because it was not my will to come here, and that even if I don't get to see my parents, that I would at least reach home. After 10 years with the rebels, in 2004 I escaped, walking through the bush for 4 days while 2 people followed me. My prayer was that I could just reach home with this child God had given me. I said, if you want me to be killed, now it is up to you. But if you want me to reach home, let your hands be upon me. We walked through the night until we reached a child protection unit. I stayed for a while in a World Vision Center, and now I am at home, staying there with the help of World Vision. My mother is not there. My father is dead. I have no brothers or sisters. I have an uncle. My oldest child is now 9 years old. The second is 6. My third child is 1.5 years old. They are all with me now, but I can't afford for them to go to school.
But all the assistance, all the help I'm getting from World Vision. That's what I have for you.
Escapees such as Stacy are often mistrusted and despised by their communities for their former involvement in the rebel army, complicating the already difficult task of rehabilitation. Nearly 2 million Ugandans have been relocated to protected displaced people camps to avoid contact with the LRA. Even these camps are not immune to the terror of the LRA in their efforts to army themselves with children. The temporary housing has become permanent for hundreds of thousands of Ugandans. Crowded conditions and lack of food and sanitation facilities have rendered the camp population vulnerable to malnutrition, disease, and death. Over 1,000 people are dying in these camps each week, many of them children. 1 of every 4 Ugandan families cares for a child orphaned by AIDS.